Maggie, you're our expert on all things Hillary Clinton. You've lately been exploring the Jeb Bush world. Which one is harder to penetrate?
They're hard in different ways. Hillary Clinton's world, however, is incredibly hard to penetrate unless you have long-standing ties going back for a while. It can be very difficult to figure out who's who. People circulate and cycle in and out. Jeb's world is much different. It is much more about his family.
But when I think of family, I think of the Clintons. I think Bill Clinton, Chelsea. Isn't that about family? Isn't Hillary's campaign about family?
It is, but it's a much smaller family. When you're dealing with Bush, you're dealing with a different type of dynasty. You're dealing with a grandfather who was in the Senate. You're dealing with a father who was the president, a brother who was the president, a grandson who is now running for Texas Land Commissioner, another son who is a former governor. It is a different type of environment. There are a lot of siblings. There are 5 Bush siblings. It creates a very, very different world.
If you were running for president, would it be better to have a father and a brother who were president, or a spouse who had been president?
Well, I think it would be better to have a spouse who was president, especially if you have the chance of being the first woman to be president. That is something very unique that Hillary Clinton brings to this that Jeb Bush does not have. And there is more time between when her husband was president and when she would be running, whereas Jeb Bush, this is going to reignite a debate about George W. Bush's record pretty soon after he left office.
But wouldn't George W. be more recent so he could give his brother more advice on being president now?
Only if his brother actually wanted it. I don't know that he could give his brother advice on being a good candidate now, and that is really where Jeb needs help at the moment.
Which dynasty wants their person more to run for president?
Holistically, the Clintons, because while Bill Clinton has been very deferential in conversations with people and her daughter has been very deferential, there is a pretty broad sense that both would really like to see her become the first female president. They think she'd do a terrific job.
When I was a reporter, I hated these kinds of questions, but I'll ask you anyway.
Well, thank you.
So
okay,
are we
great.
expecting, or do you expect a Bush-Clinton contest in 2016?
I do not. I just simply don't. I think that Jeb Bush, I think one or the other of them is not going to be running. I think that Jeb Bush is less likely to run than Hillary Clinton
Then why
is.
are we here?
Because this is our job, and we love this.